Hi everyone, Jeremy Edge with Escapingthe.com. Pornography can be a really big problem for a lot of people. It's very natural to experience or to want to experience sexual interactions, and pornography is a very easy way to do that online. There are a lot of problems with it though. For one, pornography can cause a lot of issues around relationships. There can be a lot of insecure attachments if we're using a lot of pornography. We can feel that there is not the relationship is based on sex only. It's only based on sexual interactions, and there's not a deeper connection that's there. And so the more that we interact with pornography, the more that we can have or experience these um, lack of secure attachments with other people. There's also some impulse control that can happen, issues that can happen around this. So the more that we engage in porn, the more that it's like I want this right now. I feel this urge, and it can be hard to control these impulses and these desires. It's only a click away. It's we can say ourselves, "Gosh, it's so easy. It's so fast to experience this." And so the more that we engage in porn, the more that we say to ourselves, "Look, I can engage in this at a click of a button. It's very quick. I don't have to have any restraint." Sometimes we can feel that and experience that. And the more that we do that, the more we get into this habit of not controlling our impulses. And so the more that we do that, the more issues we can have with impulse control. We can also experience low self-esteem from a lot of porn use. We can experience not just secure relationships, but we won't feel very confident in who we are. We won't feel confident maybe in interacting with others or interacting with the gender or sex that we find attractive. We won't feel very confident as a person. Our self-esteem probably will be diminished a little bit from maybe the more porn use that we interact with. Erectile dysfunction can also be a problem. Porn-induced erectile dysfunction is something that's discussed in Gary Wilson's book of Your Brain on Porn, and it can cause a lot of issues. Sexual dissatisfaction can also be a big problem. So the more that we interact with porn, the more we can have this expectation of what porn should look like or what sex should be about or should look like. And so when we interact with sex with a real person, then it can feel very different and awkward and clunky, and it can not be the same experience that we've lived up to in our brains. And so there could potentially be some dissatisfaction from what we've built up in our minds from porn use. There can also be a lot of broken relationships. Relationships of any kind, a committed relationship can be very broken from this interaction. Now, porn can maybe at times bring people together if it's in a committed relationship, if everyone's on board with it. However, for the most part, broken relationships are at the heart of porn use. Usually it's when one party is engaging in porn and the other person feels isolated, and it's not a way to connect. Relationships are really needing to have a lot of communication and trust, and porn is a break in that trust. So a way to respond to this porn use can be a few things. One, you can try to remove all access. Just give yourself a break from porn, give yourself a break from that activity, and then while you do that, engage in other activities that are exciting, that are fun, that are exhilarating. It's not to say, okay, so stop looking at porn and go to a strip club. It's stop looking at porn and try to do something that's meaningful and impactful and powerful with that time you have left over. A lot of times we are wanting to experience escape. People want to experience maybe connection with others or feel some sense of satisfaction and pleasure from porn. And so if we're able to replace that with positive pleasure or with positive interactions, like maybe rock climbing, going out with friends and doing like a rock climbing marathon or something like that, you can go out with friends and do something that's exciting that does not have to be porn. Another thing you can do is to learn about your triggers. Learn about when you are wanting to use porn, what time of day it is, what's around you, maybe activities that maybe, say, look, after this activity, I really want to look at porn, maybe a certain time of day in the evening or when no one's home. These things can be good to be insightful about. Okay, so look, I'm kind of aware that this is when I'm usually wanting to use porn. If I want to stop this, maybe I should change up this activity, right? So the next thing is to respond to those triggers. Change up maybe your environment a little bit, where if you know that it's, in the evening around the same time of day, change up where you are, change up the location. Put yourself in a public environment, well, it's where you will not be wanting to look at porn in a public environment, right? Go out to a coffee shop or something, or go out into a public area in your home where you're not going to use porn, probably in that area. Set yourself up with protective factors, meaning do something that's going to help you not choose this like, behavior that you don't want to do. Meaning, what you could do is say, okay, at 8 o'clock at night, usually that's when I want to use porn. So what you can do is go to set up a time you're going to hang out and talk with, maybe a friend or family member around that time. Say, look, I'd love to chat with you tonight. Would you mind just kind of chatting or whatever? So that activity of talking with your friend or family is protecting you from this action, from this action you don't want to do. So again, the more protective factors you have in your life around this, the more likely you will not use porn if you work on that. Another thing to do is to get support from friends, family members, and professionals. This is a hard thing to break. Pornography is very addicting, and so it's really good to get support from others that you trust and that you care about you. You can work with a professional. You can reach out to us at Escapingthe.com. Also, just work with a professional that you trust. If you're already working with someone, I would encourage you to find someone that uses CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy in helping you work through some of these challenges. If you'd like to reach out to us at Escapingthe.com, just go to Escapingthe.com/contact. I look forward to talking with you soon. I hope you take care.